All right, we're jumping into one of the most famous physics texts of all time, Richard Feynman's lectures. And using his insights from Chapter 2, we're going to see how our picture of the universe got built up, how it got completely shattered, and how we're still, to this day, trying to put all the pieces back together.
And who better to guide us than the man himself, Richard Feynman? The guy had this incredible knack for slicing through all the complexity and getting right to the heart of an idea. It's really his unique perspective that's going to shape this whole story.
So let's start with Feynman's big idea, his central metaphor. He didn't see physics as just a list of facts. To him, it was like we're all working on this massive, cosmic jigsaw puzzle. And our mission here is to see just how we found those pieces and tried to fit them together over the years.
Okay, so first stop, the picture on the puzzle box lid. This is what physicists thought they had more or less figured out by about 1920. It was a universe that seemed to make perfect sense, a world of beautiful clockwork order.
You see, in this classical view, everything in the universe played out on this fixed, predictable stage. You had your 3 dimensions of space, up, down, left, right, forward, back, and then you had time, which just ticked along separately at the same rate for everyone. It was simple, it felt right, and well, it turned out to be not quite the whole story.
And on this stage, you had your actors, little particles. They had inertia, which just means they'd keep on moving unless some force pushed or pulled on them. And physicists knew about 2 main forces: gravity, the simple pull that holds planets in their orbits, and all those messier forces that make chemistry work. With just that, they could explain pretty much everything: heat, wind, even the sound of the ocean. It was a huge success.
But there were these little hints that the puzzle picture wasn't quite complete. And what's so wild about this is the hidden power it reveals. We feel gravity all the time, right? But the electrical force, it's just mind-bogglingly stronger. I mean, think about that. 3 million tons of force between 2 tiny grains of sand. The only reason we don't feel it constantly is because it's almost always perfectly balanced. This huge, hidden force was a major clue that something much deeper was going on.
And then, starting in the early 20th century, everything changed. Physicists started finding new puzzle pieces that just didn't fit anywhere. They were impossible. They completely shattered that beautiful, orderly picture of the world. And this new reality was called quantum mechanics. It was a world that played by a totally different set of rules. You can just forget about that predictable clockwork machine. On the tiniest scales, the universe is a game of chance, probability, and pure uncertainty. So here's how fast it all happened. Before 1920, you had Newton's laws running the show. Then, in just 10 years, from 1905 to 1915, Einstein comes along and merges space and time into one thing: space-time. And right after that, quantum mechanics shows up and basically throws the old rulebook right out the window. The old puzzle was officially broken.
Now, this led to a massive problem that classical physics just couldn't solve. We know that atoms have a positive nucleus and negative electrons, and we know that opposites attract. So why don't the electrons just spiral right into the nucleus? Why doesn't all matter just collapse into a tiny, dense mush? How can atoms be mostly empty space?
The answer is one of the weirdest and most fundamental rules of reality, the uncertainty principle. What it says is that there's a fundamental trade-off baked into the universe. You can know exactly where something is, or you can know exactly how fast it's moving, but you can never, ever know both of those things perfectly at the same time. And this is where Feynman just explains it so perfectly. He says, look, if an electron did fall into the nucleus, we know its position almost exactly. But the uncertainty principle then says its momentum, how it's moving, has to be wildly uncertain. That means it would have a ton of energy, so much energy, it would just bust right out of there. So the electron makes a kind of compromise. It stays a bit fuzzy, giving itself some wiggle room, and that's what gives an atom its size.
And the quantum revolution kept unifying ideas in these really strange ways. We used to think of things as either waves, like light, or particles, like electrons. But quantum mechanics showed us, nope, there's no difference. Everything is both, all the time. It's this single, very weird concept that just depends on how you decide to measure it.
So, okay, with quantum mechanics, we had new rules for this new layer of the puzzle. But when physicists started looking even deeper, down inside the atomic nucleus, they didn't find simplicity. They found absolute chaos.
And this was Feynman's wonderfully blunt take on the situation. After putting all these amazing ideas together, physics was suddenly just flooded with this bewildering collection of new discoveries that didn't seem to fit anywhere.
Just look at this. And seriously, don't try to read it. That's not the point. The point is to just get a feel for the sheer complexity. This is just a part of the zoo of new particles that started popping up in experiments. Instead of a few simple, elegant puzzle pieces, physicists found dozens and dozens, with no clear idea how any of them were related.
And some of the strangest animals in this whole zoo are the leptons. These guys, like the electron we all know, are fundamental particles, but they don't feel that super strong force that holds the nucleus together. But the weirdest one of all, the muon. It seems to be a perfect copy of the electron, only it's 206 times heavier. For no reason at all. To this day, we have no idea why it even exists.
So where does that leave us? After all these crazy discoveries, what does the jigsaw puzzle of reality actually look like right now? Well, as we're about to see, it is very much a work in progress.
We have managed to sort the puzzle pieces into a few fundamental forces, and you can see here the strong nuclear force, the one that glues the nucleus together, is just overwhelmingly powerful. Then you've got electromagnetism, and the weak force, which handles some types of radioactive decay. And gravity? It is so unbelievably weak compared to these others, it wouldn't even show up on this chart. And while we've got a pretty good handle on some of these forces, the rules of that big one, the strong force, are still deeply mysterious.
And this really brings us to Feynman's humble conclusion. We've made incredible progress, for sure, but the journey to the center of the puzzle is nowhere near finished. There's this real sense, as he puts it, that we're still just kind of fumbling around in the dark.
Just think about that for a second. Everything outside the nucleus, all of chemistry, all of biology, all of geology, it all runs on quantum rules that we understand incredibly well. But the very heart of matter, the nucleus itself, where almost all the stuff is, it's still holding on to its biggest secrets. We're still trying to figure out the rules of the game in there.
And that leaves us with the biggest question of all. We keep finding these new pieces, and we keep trying to fit them together. But will we ever find the edge of the puzzle? Will all the pieces finally just snap together into one simple, beautiful picture? That is the grand, unfinished quest physics.